We spend more on healthcare than ever, yet the rates of chronic illness, especially hormonal problems for women, have dramatically skyrocketed over the last 20 years.
My health journey really starts back when I was 20. And I had my first bout of thyroiditis when it was caught by accident just on a yearly exam. And by the time I got referred to an endocrinologist, I had went from hyper to hypo. And I was put on meds. And after 3 months on medications, I normalized, so they took me off. And they just told me at some point, your thyroid will stop working and you will be on medications for the rest of your life. So I started doing my own research and I started working out, caring a lot about nutrition, but it was all self-motivated. All the doctors that I had ever seen said, well, you should exercise and you should eat well, but it doesn't really affect what you're gonna experience in your life. I would come with all these symptoms and I would tell them all the things I was doing. I was that girl with the 10 bottles of different supplements I had found from Google that may help with my issues that I'm having. And they just looked at me like, well, that's just normal. This is normal for you. Your thyroid is fine, so that's just what your life is going to be. What happened that kind of brought me to the point where I was done with medicine was earlier this year in about February or March. I had a lot of stress. I was managing a gym, I was getting married, and everything was just, I was strung out. And so I went to the doctor. Sure enough, my thyroid was full blown. And once again, I was referred to another endocrinologist. Now I'm with this endocrinologist earlier this year and I say all these things. What about being gluten-free? And what about allergies and inflammation and all that? And he's like, there's nothing you can do. You'll be on this medication for the rest of your life. I can't believe they ever took you off of it. And I knew right then that I was so done. I was sick of being referred from person to person. I was sick of being compartmentalized, and I was sick of my symptoms not mattering because I had to live it. I have to live it. I came and I saw Mitch. I was going to challenge him because I have had so many doctors tell me, and I was starting to believe there was nothing and that this was gonna be my new normal. So this was my last stop. So I sat there with my 10 years of labs and he's paging through them. And I was like, yeah, so I have thyroid, and I'm telling him a little about all this. And he's like, okay, let's talk about your gut. What do you want to know? And he's like, I don't think you have enough acid. And he starts talking to me about how I don't have enough stomach acid. And I was like, I have heartburn. He's about to lose me at this point. And then he pulls up his little thing on the computer and I'm like, oh, yeah, I probably have that problem. And so that was where it started. I got my food allergies tested and I was allergic to all of the healthy foods I was eating almost on the daily. And I thought, oh, awesome. Eggs, like eggs, I couldn't eat eggs anymore. Rice, these things that are good for me foods that I had researched and knew were good for me foods were hurting me. It was eye-opening and also refreshing to hear somebody say, all of these things are telling me something. We're gonna look into it, we're gonna figure it out, and then we're gonna fix it. After my first week of no food allergies, my bloating was already way down. I had lost 3 pounds and 3 inches just in inflammation. Nothing else changed. And I couldn't believe it. Like, I'm a fitness person. So then my friend had told me, she's like, you need to watch this muscles and menstruation video. And in one of the opening lines, Patrick Flynn talks about how, he's gonna upset the fit girls. He's gonna tell them that they're doing it all wrong. And I was like, oh God, here we go. And I was doing it all wrong. I think somebody who's considering to come to Wellness Way, like if you are considering and you haven't, I have to say I waited 5 years before finally coming, and God, I wish I would have, because I'm in so much worse shape. There's so much more backpedaling. The body is amazing and it can heal itself, but the longer you're sick for, the longer it takes to get better. I like to think about how long I've been paying health insurance for, how much medication they've been pushing at me, how many days I've spent being sick and told that this is the rest of your life. My heart hurts for those people because there are so many of us that have been told this is your new normal. This is how you're gonna have to live the rest of your life. It is such a disservice, and it makes me so mad because it's not that doctors are bad, they are good, but they don't have the whole story. And the motivation behind what they're taught and how they're taught to practice medicine is not right. It's not just, it's not okay. So I would say try it because you've never been cared for well.